It's becoming a common problem, a growing number of celebrities facing both career and social backlash for things they posted online. Just a few examples of this. Dan Harmon, creator of the shows Community and Rick and Morty, came under fire for a video he posted in 2009.
James Gunn, who directed the first two Guardians of the Galaxy movies and was set to direct the third, was fired when old controversial tweets resurfaced. And after that incident, Star Wars The Last Jedi director Rian Johnson erased about 20,000 tweets from his account, saying he didn't think he had, quote, tweeted anything bad, but saw what happened with Gunn as a cautionary tale.
So joining us now from Washington is crisis and reputation brand strategist Derek Plummer. He's also senior director for Purple Strategies. Thanks for joining us, Derek.
It's just fascinating to me that in this day and age that people would tweet, especially if they have millions of followers, the first thing that pops into their mind. I suspect, and this is just sort of subjective, but I suspect a lot of that has to do with our own culture here in the United States, where we think that everybody's point of view somehow matters and everybody's got something to say about everything, right?
But people have been rewarded for tweeting like that. I mean,
except when you're, and this is the question for Derek, except when you're, for example, Roseanne Barr, and you tweet something that's horribly offensive. And, you may have in the past, before social media, said something like that in private to somebody. Now you're saying it to your millions of followers. So the question, I guess, Derek, is it fair that people, because they say something that is racist or because they say something that is offensive, that they should lose their entire livelihoods because of those comments that they made?
Well, I think we have to recognize that there is responsibility and accountability for whatever we say. And I often like to counsel my clients and say, when you are engaging, whether it's on social media, whether you're putting out a statement, whatever it is, an ad, you are speaking to your customers. You're speaking to those people who support you in some way, shape, or form. And you want to make sure that whatever you're saying is something that you can stand behind. Listen, you've seen, and you all have done stories about this, where you talked about the executive who tweeted related to South Africa. You have young people who are applying for jobs, and employers are going through their social media channels to figure out what they're saying. And I like to think that if I can't say it to my mama, or if my mama can't see it, then I need to be very thoughtful. I think when it comes to the situation related to Roseanne Barr and others, again, when you look at a corporation that has values, that has mission, and has expectations, there are expectations from viewers about the type of programming that Disney is going to support. There are expectations from consumers and viewers about the type of programming that AMC is going to do. So again, I think we have to be mindful of that we're operating in a different environment. And at one point in time, you can make a statement and you would have to hire investigators and go through the courthouse to figure out what happened. Now, within a couple of seconds, you can really have some information related to someone that may be embarrassing, something that they may have not really wanted in the public sphere in the beginning.
Derek, just talk about Roseanne Barr very, very quickly. You're in the business of crisis management. It looked like this was as mismanaged as it could get in terms of that tweet that just went from bad to worse to worse. How would you have advised her to deal with that crisis after the first tweet? Yeah,
so, anytime you're dealing with a reputation or crisis issue, the thing that people want to know is what happened, why did it happen, who's responsible, what are you going to do to fix it? What Roseanne did, and I think how ABC responded, was spot on. They acted quickly. They acted within their values. And for her, I think, what we've seen from her over the course of the last few weeks, even with the interview last night, is not how I would have advised a client to respond. But again, what you have to make sure that you're doing is that you're being thoughtful about your engagement, that you're being transparent, and you're being honest. And the truth is, we don't quite know what's happening with Roseanne. And even on friendly outlets like last night, she really wasn't able to effectively, I think, tell her story and explain why she made those racist tweets. And sometimes things are just inexcusable.
Yeah, at the end of the day, look, people bounce back. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if in a couple of years some executive says, she's a proven moneymaker and she's paid her penance, and she is now able to do something. Look what happened to Rob Lowe. Many young people who are watching CBSN will not remember when I was a kid, not even a kid, I was, let's see, I was a freshman in college. Rob Lowe went to the DNC. He was caught on video after that party, at a party with like an underage girl, and that was huge blowback. And it was a video that he made, and Rob Lowe is as famous as ever.
And Rob Lowe is grateful that you brought that up again.
I never forget. Pop culture, I never forget.
Derek Plummer, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.